Today's topic is N queens. N queens is a classic puzzle problem that is solved by using a backtracking technique. So the goal is to place n number of queens in n into n chessboard. Clear? N queens is a this problem is a classic puzzle problem. Like how we are solving puzzle, in that way we have to place the queens in n into n chessboard. So the rules for this is the basic rules to place n queens are, there are three rules. First rule is no two queens should place in the same row. And second rule is no two queens no two queens should place in same column. And the third rule is no two queens should place in diagonal also. To place n queens, we have to follow some rules. There are three rules, three basic rules. First rule is no two queens should place in the same row, no two queens should place in the same column, and no two queens should place in the diagonal also. So now our n value is 4. So we have to solve 4 queens. Those 4 queens we have to place in 4 into 4 chessboard. 4 queens, namely q1, q2, q3, and q4. So we have to place those 4 queens in 4 into 4 chessboard. Okay. The chessboard is numbered as 0th column, first column, second column, and third column. 0th row, first row, second row, and third row. Now our goal is to place 4 queens in 4 into 4 chessboard. So to place queen, first we have to find out whether the place is safe or not. Means now we are starting with first place, first position, means 0th row and 0th column. So we have to check whether that place is safe or not. So check first, this is step 1. In step 1 we are going to check the first place is safe or not. Means 0th row, row 0 and column 0, row 0 and column also 0. Okay. Check board. Where we are checking on the board. Board, 0th row, 0th column is safe or not. Now check, this place is safe or not. Yes, it is safe because no previously placed queen is there. Now we can easily place our queen 1 here. So it is safe. Mark here, it is safe. So whenever we find a safe place on the board, we can place our queen here. Okay. Now other three rules also there. Those are, when first rule is, when place is safe, when place is safe, so place the queen, place the queen. And then when we place the queen, just place the queen and increment increment the column by 1, increment the column by 1. Why we are incrementing column not row means, what is our first role here, what is our second role here? No two queens should place in the same column. So here one place is queen in the 0th column. So we cannot place any more queen here, and we cannot place any more queen here, and we cannot place any more queen here. That's why we are directly shifting our row, directly we are incrementing our column by 1. Now our place is this. Okay. Are you getting or not, students? Are you getting or not? What we have to done here up to this, to place our topic is n queens. In n queens, this problem is a classic puzzle problem. This problem is solved by using backtracking technique. This problem is solved by using backtracking technique. So in this, to place n queens, we have to use n into n chessboard. Now our aim is to place only 4 queens. So we have to use 4 into 4 chessboard. So to place the queens, we have some rules. First rule is no two queens in the same row, and also no two queens in the same column, and also no two queens in the diagonal. Same row, same column and diagonal. So now we are going to place 4 queens, namely queen 1, queen 2, queen 3 and queen 4. Now our chessboard is having 4 into 4 boxes. Now we are placing our queen 1. To place the queen, first we have to check on the board whether the particular place is safe or not. Now we are choosing first place as it is beginning. So we have to check for the place 1, starting place, starting position. What is our starting position? 0th row and 0th column. Now we have to check whether the place is safe or not. Yes, it is safe because just we are at the starting beginning stage, so no to previous queen is there in the board. So now we can easily place our queen 1 in the step 1 in the first position. So whenever we place the queen, again there are three more rules. When the place is safe, when the place is safe, then place the queen. After placing queen, we have to increment the column by 1. Why we are directly incrementing column means whenever we place the queen in the particular column, and we further we cannot place one more queen in this column, because our what is our second rule? No two queens should place in the same column. So we have already placed our queen 1 in the 0th column. So we cannot place further any queen in this particular column. So directly we are shifting into the column 2. Now what is our place? What is our step? In step 2, what we have to check? Row, row 0 and column, row 0 and column 1. Where on the board 0th row and first column. That place is this. This is that place. 0th row, 0th row and first column. 0th row and first column. Is that safe? No, that is not safe because already one queen is placed in that row previously. So what is our first rule? No two queens in the same row. So we cannot place any queen in this row again. So the place is not safe. The place is not safe. And second rule is when the place is not safe, when place is not safe, then increment the row by 1. Then increment, then increment row by 1. Means what? We have to check this place. Okay. Now step 3. Now step 3. Just increment the row by 1. Means what? We are incrementing our row. Our row is, what is our row now? Second row. Second row. Sorry, first row. Our row is first row. First row and our column is first column. First row and column is first column. Where on the board? Board, first row and first column. That place is this. Is this safe? No, it is also not safe. Because why not safe? Like if we place our queen here, it forms a diagonal to the q1. So we cannot place our queen 2 here. Okay. So we cannot place our queen 2 here. So it is also not safe. So what is our first row? When the place is not safe, then increment the row by 1. Sorry, what is the second rule? When the place is not safe, then increment the row by 1. This is also not safe. This is also not safe. Now increment the row by 1. Means this. Now column is 1 and row is 2. Step 4. Step 4. Row is 2 and column is 1. Is this safe? Yes, this place is safe. No, because it is safe place. Why it is safe place? There is no queen in the same row, there is no queen in the same column, and if you place queen here, it it will not form any diagonal, so that is safe. So we can easily place the queen here. Okay, so this is safe place, so we can place the queen to here. Okay, now what is our first rule? Whenever we find a safe place, we have to place the queen. Next, after placing queen, we have to increment the column by 1. Now come to this column, second column. Okay, why we are coming to the second column? Because whenever we place the queen in the particular column, we are not able to place one more queen in the same column. That's why we are directly shifting to the another column. That's it. So what is our step 5? Step 5, I'm directly writing here. What is the step 5 on the board? What is that? Row is 0 and column is and column is 2. Row is 0 and column is 2. We have placed our queen in the 0th column, and we have also placed our second queen in the first column. Now we are checking the possibilities for the second column. Second column always start any column with 0th row only. Now check on the board. On the board check. On the board check whether the row 0, check whether row 0 and column, what is our column? Column 2 is safe or not. Is it safe? No, it is not safe, because already queen 1 is there. Already queen 1 is there. Already queen 1 is there. Already queen 1 is there in the 0th row. So we cannot place queen again, one more queen in the same row. Same row. So it is not safe. So it is not safe. So what is our second rule? When the place is not safe, then increment the row by 1. Means what? We have to come here. What is that place? Step 6. Step 6. What is that place? Check. Check. What is that place? Row equals to 1. Row equals to 1 and column is 2. So column is 2. Means what? This place. Is it safe? No, it is also not safe. If you, because why? Because it is not safe. Because if you place any queen here, it forms a diagonal to this. So it is also not safe. It is also not safe. Okay. Then then what is our second rule? When the place is not safe, then increment the row by 1. Now increment the row by 1 means here. This is that place. Is this safe? By seeing the board also we can answer. Is this safe? No, it is also not safe, because in this same row queen 2 is placed. Okay, so we can't place the queen again in the same row. Okay, so step 7. Step 7 also check. What is that place? What is that place? Row equals to 2 and column equals to 2. This is also not safe. So whenever the place is not safe, we have to increment the row. So that is this one. Again check. Step 7. Step 8. Step 8 again check whether the place is safe or not. Check. What is that place? Row equals to 3, column equals to 2. Means this place. Is it safe? No, it is also not safe. Why not safe? If you place queen here, it forms a diagonal to this. So this is also not safe. This is also not safe. Now one more rule is there. When place is not safe, place is not safe, and we are almost at the end, and there is no more row. No more row means we are at the end stage. There is place is not safe, and to further increment there is no more row. At that time, backtrack. We have to use backtrack technique. At that time, backtrack and remove backtrack and remove last placed queen. Backtrack and remove last placed queen. Backtrack and remove last placed queen. What is our last placed queen? Our last placed queen is q2. So we have to remove this q2. So by removing, our problem is not solved. After removing, what is that? Backtrack and remove the last placed queen, and after removing the queen, then increment row by 1. Row by 1. So up to now what we have done, listen carefully. Up to now what we have done, just we are placing, what is our question, n queens. In that we are using n equals to 4 value, means we are using 4 queens. So we have to place those 4 queens in the 4 into 4 chessboard. So what are the rules to place the 4 queens in the 4 into 4 chessboard? We are having almost 6 rules, but basic rules are 3. What are the basic rules? No two queens should place in the same row. And second rule is no two queens should place in the same column. And third rule is no two queens should place in the diagonal. So by using those 3 rules, we have to fill the chessboard with 4 queens. Now, how we are going to fill? First, we are selecting first place, means 0th row and 0th column. So to place the queen in the 0th row, 0th column, we have to check whether the particular place is safe or not. By what way we are checking? We are writing on the board. How we are writing? First, what is our position? Board, 0th row and 0th column. Is that safe? Yes. Because we are at the starting position, we are at the beginning, there is no previously placed queen is there. That's why we can easily place our queen 1. So we are writing that is a safe place. So again, there are 3 rules. Whenever we found a safe place on the board, we have to place the queen. Okay, we can place our queen. After placing our queen, we have to increment the column by 1, not incrementing row. Directly we are incrementing column. Why we are incrementing column? What is our second row? No two queens in the same column. So whenever we place one queen in the one column, we cannot place one more queen in the same column. That's why the places on the on the board which forms the same column are not safe. Indirectly they are not safe. That is why we are directly incrementing our column number by 1. So now we are at column 2, means what? Second column means the place of that, the name of that column is 1. This is 0th column, this is 1th column. Now we have to check whenever we shifted, whenever we are starting the column, we have to check the 0th row also. First row, first row, 0th row and first column. Our step is 0th row and first column. So if it is safe, we can place our queen. Whenever we place the queen, we should have to increment the column, but it is not safe place. Why? Because already, what is the first rule? No two queens in the same row. So already queen 1 is the 0th row, so we cannot place the another queen in the same row. That is why the place is not safe. Now, what is our second rule? When place is not safe, just increment the row by 1. Now we are incrementing our row size by 1. Means we are at first column and first row. That is the step 3. First column and first row. Is that safe? That is also, means this is the place. Is that safe? No, that is also not safe. Why not safe? What is our third rule? No two queens in the diagonal also. So if you place queen here, it forms diagonal to the q1. That is why it is not safe. So whenever the place is not safe, we have to increment the row by 1. Means first column and second row. The place is this. Yes, this is safe. We can place the queen here. After placing queen, what is our first rule? After placing queen, we have to increment our row column by 1. Means we are coming to the second column. and start with 0th row. Check this place, second column, 0th row. Is this safe? No, it is not safe because q1 is there already in the 0th row. So this place is not safe. So whenever the place is not safe, just increment the row by 1, means this place. So what is that place? Second column and first row. Is this safe? Is this safe? No, it is also not safe because if you place any queen here, it forms diagonal to q1. This is also not safe. So whenever the place is not safe, we have to increment the row by 1. So the place is this. Just see this place. It is also not safe because already one queen is there in the same row. So this is also not safe. Now when the place is not safe, we have to increment our row by 1. So we are at this last row, third row and second column. Is this safe? This is also not safe. Why not safe? It forms diagonal to the q2. So we are at the end of the board and there are no further rows to increment. So at this position, at this time, whenever the place is not safe and there are no further rows to increment, then we have to use the backtrack technique. Backtrack and remove the last placed queen, and after removing, just increment the row by 1. Means what? Means what? Now we are at this place. What is that place? Now check. Step 9. Now check. Row equals to 3 and column equals to 1. Is that safe? Yes, this is safe. If you place queen here, there is no diagonal, there is no row, and there is no same column. So we can place the queen here. I'll show you. Remove the queen and place the queen here. So remove queen and place the queen to here. Now increment. Whenever we place the queen, we have to increment the column by 1. Now we are at this place. Now we are at this place. Again check from the starting. So check this place is safe or not. No, this is not safe because already queen 1 is there in the 0th row. Now check, is this safe or not? This place is safe or not? Yes, that is safe. We can place the queen 3 here. Okay, I'm directly just saying, just check this position. What is that position? What is the step 10? Step 10 is row equals to 0 and column equals to 2. This position is not safe. This is not safe. This is safe. This is not safe. So whenever the places, I will take another sheet because I will write again here, it will make clumsy. Okay, I will take next sheet, next one. So what is our board? So this is our 4 into 4 chessboard. 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2 and 3. So what is our previous queens? 0, 0, 1 and 1, 3. 0, 0 and 1, 3. 0, 0, 1 queen is there and 1, 3. 1 column. Second queen is there. Now we are checking for queen 3. For queen 3, how many steps we have examined? How many steps we have examined for queen 3? This step is completed, and for this, okay, step 10 is there. What is step 10? Row is 0, second column is 2. Or else again check from the beginning. Now check for this. What is that? Row is 0, row is 0 and column is 2. Is this safe? This place is not safe because 0th row, one queen 1 is there already, so it is not safe. Next step, this is step 9. Again step 10. Again step 10. What is step 10? Whenever the place is not safe, we have to increment our row by 1. Means what? We are at here. Means what? Row equals to 1 and column equals to 2. Row equals to 1 and column equals to 2. Yes, this is safe. So whenever we find a safe place, we can place our queen 3. Queen 3 is placed at zeroth row, sorry, first row and second column. So whenever safe is placed, we have to place our queen, and after placing queen we have to increment our column by 1. So in step 11, in step 11, check check whether zeroth row equals to 0 and column equals to 3. Is that safe or not? It is not safe, obviously not safe, because zeroth row queen 1 is there. Now increment the row, means this. What is that? What is the step 12? What is that? Row equals to 1 and column equals to 3. Is this safe? That is not safe. Why not safe? Because queen 3 is there in the same row. Now in step 13, step 13, whenever the place is not safe, just increment the row by 1, means we are at this stage now. So row is 2, column equals to 3. Is this safe? It is also not safe because it forms diagonal to q3. Now when your place is not safe, then increment row by 1, means what? We are at this stage now. Row equals to 3, column equals to 3. This is also not safe. This is also not safe. Why not safe? Already q2 is there in the same column. Now what we have to do? What is our third rule in the previous slide? If we are at if we are at the end stage, means we are at the last row and the last row, and there are no further rows to increment, and we are unable to place our queen. At that time what we have to do? Just backtrack and remove the last placed queen. After removing last placed queen, we have to increment the row size. Means what is our last placed queen? Last placed queen, last placed queen is q3. Just remove that, and after removing, increment, remove and increment row by 1. Means what? This place. Means what? Step 15 is what place? Step 15 equals to row equals to 2 and column equals to 2. Is that safe? This is not safe. Why not safe? Because it forms diagonal to the q2. So that place is also not safe. Now increment. When place is not safe, then increment the row. Means what? We are at this stage. This is also not safe. Why not safe? What is that place? Row equals to step 16. Row equals to what? 3. And column equals to what? 2. This is also not safe. Why not safe? Again, q2 is there in the same row. Again, we can't place one more pin in the same row. So it is also not safe. So whenever place is not safe in the board and we are at the end of the board, what we have to do? Again, backtrack. Go backtrack and remove the last placed queen. What is last placed queen? What is last placed queen? Queen 2 is last placed queen. And after incrementing, sorry, after removing last placed queen, what we have to do? Remove last placed queen, remove last placed queen, and after removing increment we have to increment row by 1. So our last placed queen itself at the last row, so there is no further row to increment. So at that time what we have to do? Then backtrack again and remove last placed queen. Again backtrack, again backtrack and remove last placed queen. What is that last placed queen? Last placed queen. What is that? Q1 is last placed queen. This is that place. Okay. Again remove Q1 also. After removing Q1, what we have to do? Now increment. Now increment row by 1. Now see this second board. Now we have tried all the possible ways, like what is that? Puzzle. Puzzle, in puzzle, like 7 into 7 board, 9 into 9 board. What? we have doing that, we have to try all the possible ways. If no possible way we can find, at that time what we have to do, we have to backtrack, we have to remove the last place of things, and we can start again. Now we are at that stage now. 0 1 2 3, 0 1 2 3. So we are removing queen 1 also from the board. So after removing queen 1 we have to increment the row by 1, means we are at this stage now. What is that? At step 17, at step 17 what is that? Row equals to, row equals to 0, also column equals to 0. Is that safe? Yes, that is safe. So that is safe. Sorry, row equals to 1, we are incrementing, no? So row equals to 1 means this is that place. Row equals to 1 and column equals to 0. So it is that place. Now it is safe. Now place q1 in that place. Okay. Now whenever we place the queen, we have to increment our column by 1. Means it's step 18, step 18. What is that place? Row equals to 0 and column equals to 1. This is that place. Is this safe? No, it is not safe. Why not safe? It forms diagonal to this. That is not safe. So that is not safe. Now, whenever this place is not safe, we have to increment the row by 1. Means this place. That is row equals to 1 and column equals to, column also 1. This is that place. This is also not safe. This is also not safe. So whenever the place is not safe, we have to increment our row by 1. At step 20, at step 20, row equals to what? Row equals to what? 2. Column equals to what? 1. Is that safe? This one. This is also not safe. Why not safe? Why not safe? If you place the queen, it forms diagonal to q1. So this is also not safe. Whenever the place is not safe, just increment the row by 1. Step 21, row equals to 3, column equals to 1. This is that place. Yes, this is safe. That is safe. So we can place the queen 2 here. So whenever we place the queen, just increment the column by 1. Step 22, what is row? 0. What is column? 2. Means this is that place. Is it safe? Yes, it is safe. There is no queen in the same row. There is no queen in the same column. So that is safe. So we can place the queen. This is safe. So we can place the queen here. Queen 3 we can place here. So whenever we place the queen, directly just increment the column by 1. Column by 1. So in step 23, what is our row is 0. What is our column? It is 3. Is it safe? No, it is not safe because Q3 is there in the 0th column. So it is not safe. So whenever the place is not safe, what we have to do? Whenever the place is not safe, step 24, whenever the place is not safe, we have to just increment the row by 1. Means this is not safe, we have to increment row by 1. Means what is that place? Row equals to 1, column equals to 3. Is that safe? That is not safe because q1 is there in the first row. So that is not safe. Then increment the row by 1. Step 25, row equals to 1 means what is that row? Row equals to 2 and column equals to 3. Column equals to 3. Is that safe? Yes, this is safe. There is no row, no queen in the same column. There is a row, there is no queen in the same column. So we can place. It is safe. Yes. Now we can place the queen. It is safe. Now we can place the queen 4 here. Okay. Got it? Now we have successfully placed our 4 queens. Okay. 4 queens in the 4 into 4 chessboard. Is it clear? Okay, just nothing we have done. What is the problem of this n queens is, just I'm repeating again, just concentrate on this. What is there in that n queens? N queen is a classic puzzle problem that can be solved by using the backtracking technique. Okay, so we are now using 4 into 4 queens. 4 queens we have to place in the 4 into 4 chessboard. So to place the queens on the chessboard, we have to follow the basic rules, three basic rules and three three more rules. What are those basic rules? No two queens. No two queens in the same row. No two queens in the no two queens in the same column, and no two queens in the diagonal also. By using these three rules, we have to place our queen on the n into n 4 into 4 chessboard. So we have to check each and every row, each and every box individually, whether they are safe or not. Now if the place is safe, next what are the three more rules? If the place is safe, if the place is safe place, just place queen, place the queen, and after placing queen, just increment column by 1, column equals to 1, or column by 1. If the place is not safe, if the place is not safe, if the place is not safe, then increment the row by 1. And one more rule is what? There is no safe place on the board, and we are at the end of the board, means there is no further row to increment. At that time, what we have to do? Just backtrack and remove backtrack and remove last placed queen, last placed queen, last placed queen, and after removing, just to increment just to increment row by 1. If we follow these 6 rules, we can easily do the n queens problem. Okay, backtrack and remove the last placed queen, and then increment the row, and again search for the further possibilities to place the queens. So this is about n queens problem, but they will ask us to draw the state space tree for the n queens. So how many queens are there? There are 4 queens: queen 1, queen 2, queen 3, and queen 4. There are 4 queens, and we have to draw state space tree to place those queens. So to place n queens, to place 4 queens, first start with 0. So what are the possibilities to place first queen in the 4 into 4 chessboard? There are 4 possibilities for the queen 1. For queen 1, we are having 4 possibilities. We can place at the first column, we can place at the second column, we can place at the third column, and also we can place at the fourth column. Now what are the possible ways if the queen 1 is placed at the first column? How many possible ways are there? Just 3 possible ways are there to place the queen 2. So if the first queen is placed at the first column, what are the possible ways to place the second column? Sorry, second queen, column 2, column 3, and column 4. Suppose if you place queen 2 at the second column, what are the possible ways for the queen 3 to be placed in the chessboard? There are only 3 options. Queen 1 is at the first column, queen 2 at the second column. What are the possible ways? Not 3. There are only 2 possible cases. There are only 2 possible cases. What are those? 1, 2 columns are completed. Remaining is 3 and 4. Now, this is for queen 3. For queen 4, how many possible ways? If the queen 1 is placed at the first column, and the queen 2 is placed at the second column, and queen 3 is placed at the third column, what are the possible ways for queen 4? Only one way, that is 4. If you place, look at this way, look at this way. If you place queen 1 at first column, queen 2 at second column, and queen 3 at fourth column, what are the possible ways for queen 4? Queen 3. Now backtrack. If you place if you place queen 1 at first column and queen 2 at third column, so what are the possible ways? What are the possible ways? 1 and 3 completed. What are the possible ways for queen 3? 1 and 3 completed, and 2 and 4 are there. 1, 3 completed. Coming to this way, 1, 3 completed, and remaining are 2 and 4. If you place queen 1 at first column, queen 2 at third column, and queen 3 at second column, what is the possible way? Only possible way for queen 4, 1 completed, 3 completed, and 2 completed. What is the remaining one? Only 4. For this remaining one is only 2. 1, 3, 4, and 2. Completed this way. Now, if queen 1 is at the first column and queen 2 at the second column, what are the possible ways to queen 3? 1, 4 completed, remaining are 2 and 3. Okay, if queen 1 is at first column, queen 2 is fourth column, queen 3 is second column, what is the possible way for queen 4? Only 3. For this, if you place in this way, if you place in this way, queen 1 is first column, queen 2 is fourth column, and queen 3 is third column, what is only way? Queen 2, 1, 4, 3, and 2. In this way we have to draw the state space search. Okay, remaining you complete it. Okay, so this is our complete state space tree for n queens. Okay, any doubts in this? If you're having still any doubts, just ask me, just come to me and I will explain you. Okay, if you have any doubts, first go through this video again. If you are, after going through this video also, again if you are having any doubts, just come to me, I will explain you clearly. Okay,